Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. And it has been an awesome, awesome week. Today, I'm going to continue reading Thomas Troward's the work, The Hidden Power. And it's chapter 11, Yourself, which, of course, is the most important subject for all of us to study. Now, this is not in a conceited way of knowing ourselves or studying ourselves, but this is studying ourselves in a very authentic way that allows us to be more in line with who we really are and the best that we can bring to the world, regardless of the field of study that we're in. And regardless of any success or failure in the past, you can always get to know yourself better and bring more of yourself to the surface. So we're going to keep going. You know, this is such an awesome chapter because he really speaks about going past the struggle, going past suffering, going past, yearning, and really going past looking for something outside of ourselves to fill something that we have left empty because we have neglected the thing that is uniquely ours. Which is our own gifts and our own unique perspectives in the world and what we can uniquely bring to other people and to each other. So I'm going to keep reading here. If you missed the other readings, just go back onto my page. They're all, if you're not officially one of my Facebook friends, these are all public. So you can go back and watch them as well. And honestly, this is information we all need, no matter where you're at. I don't care if you're, going through bankruptcy right now. I mean, then you really need this stuff. Or if you're already making millions of dollars, then you really need this stuff because there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. Or you've already made, $1 billion, then you really need this stuff because there's more of you to come to the surface, and there are a lot of people who are relying on you to be the best version of you. Okay, so my point is that we all need this stuff. We all need to be studying the most important subject, which is ourselves, every single day, unapologetically and faithfully, and every single day. This is work every single day, because if you're not creating, you're disintegrating. Okay? And that is not me saying that and playing with words. That is just a fact of nature. You're either creating and growing and expanding, or you are disintegrating. Now, how do you know which side of that equation you're on? Well, assess your emotions. Are you in line with joy and expansion and lightness and that flow, and you feel like you're just on like surfing this energy wave? Or are you complaining, whining, bitching and moaning, angry, confused, stuck? If you're feeling those emotions, you're on the wrong side of the equation. You're on the wrong side of the thinking equation and the feeling equation. You better fix that really fast because you've got momentum going in the wrong direction. Okay, so let's get into this reading because this is so good. It's so deep. It's so juicy, guys. And I didn't read yesterday, so I'm actually going to add on Thursday's chapter onto today's chapter, and then we'll finish it out tomorrow. And tomorrow I actually have a webinar that I'm doing for all of you at 11 a.m. Why did I pick 11 a.m. on a Saturday? Because the kids are going to be up. And this is information that's really, really helpful for the kids, especially at the start of the academic year. And it's also helpful because the current quarter is going to close out, and then the biggest quarter of the year, October, November, December, is going to open up. Get your mind straightened out, because all your results come from your mind. And like I said before in past talks, I'm not going to point to here for the mind, because the brain is not the mind any more than my hair is or my fingernail is. Okay? The brain is an electronic switching station. Mind is a set of activities. You need to get it straight. If you're in business or any type of sales, the largest quarter is coming up. Start working on it now. I can help you. Register for the webinar that's going on tomorrow. I'll pop in the 2 links down below because it can really help you. And Bob Proctor is going to be doing it. It's not just me, it's Bob. So you're getting the elite part of Elite Mind Pro. I'm just the down-to-earth part that can help facilitate you. Okay, Bob's the elite part. All right, so Thomas Troward says, if we do what we are able to do today, it will open the way for us to do something better tomorrow. And in this manner, the growing process will proceed healthily and happily in a rapid increasing ratio. This is so much easier than striving to compel things to be what they are not, and it is also much more fruitful in good results. It is not sitting still, doing nothing, And there is plenty of room for the exercise of all of our mental faculties, but these faculties are themselves the outcome of the essence of life and are not the creating power, but only that which gives direction to it. Okay, this is so great. So, when I coach people, lesson 5, thinking into results of the signature program that I coach, has to do with staying in charge no matter the circumstances. And this has to do with being a master of your mental faculties. There are 6 of them. They're muscles. Our educational system only really gets us to engage with about 2, maybe 3 at best, and poorly at that. And then we wonder why we have superior knowledge and all these degrees and letters after our name, and we're getting inferior results, and then we are frustrated, right? So this is the point, because superb education, superb information with inferior results leads to frustration. And that is because you haven't studied and developed a working knowledge and implementation of the most important subject, which is you. The mental faculties are part of that, and the essence of life is part of you. You're a part of it, but it is not something that we all of us allow to be expressed. Okay, so now it is this moving power at the back of the various faculties that is the true innermost self. And if we realize the identity between the innermost and the outermost, we shall see that we therefore have at our present disposal all that is necessary for our unlimited development in the future. This is why when we, and you'll hear it on the webinar as well, this is why when we coach people and we introduce people into this information, we say, your income doesn't come from your job. Your income comes through your job, and it doesn't have to be the only channel of income. You can have multiple channels of income. And the people who are living more of a life of freedom and who are wealthy, and usually these wealthy people actually have a heart of service and they're actually able to do more for other people, it's because they have created their own economy. And all of us can create our own economy. I did not believe it when Bob Proctor first told me that 5 years ago. I was like, yeah, that's fine for you, Bob. I mean, you've been in business for 60 years. That's, not for me, an employed physician. No, but he's absolutely the truth, guys. Listen to people who know more than you and who have done more than you, and don't be so attached to your freaking ego. Just, suspend all the criticism and all this criticism that masquerades as intellect. It is not intellect. Okay, it is your self-limitation, your ego, and your fear. It is not your intellect. Okay, all right. Anyway, get off my soapbox. Just because I feel so passionate about this. All of you are brilliant. You're good people, and you leave so much of yourself on the table, or even worse, underneath the table, and you're not bringing it out. Just the world needs you. The world freaking needs you, and the world freaking needs all of us to show up, right? So, okay. Thus, our livingness consists simply in being ourselves, only more so. And in recognizing this, we get rid of a great burden of unnecessary straining and striving. And the place of the old Sturm und Drang will be taken not by inertia, but by a joyous activity, which knows that it always has the requisite power to manifest itself in forms of good and beauty. Wow, this is so great. What matters it whither this leads us. Oh, I love that old English. If we are following the line of the beautiful and good, then we shall produce the beautiful and good, and thus bring increasing joy into the world, whatever particular form it may assume. Okay, great. So whatever particular form it may assume, and now this is like key. We limit ourselves when we try to fix accurately beforehand the particular form of good that we will produce. We should aim not so much at having or making some particular thing as at expressing all that we are. Okay, this is such an amazing sentence, guys. We should aim not so much at having or making some particular thing as at expressing all that we are. So like, what does this mean? Okay, so like one very common context is, I can take it from just being from Indian culture. There are all these expectations that you should be like this, and you should be like this, you should be like this. And oftentimes people ignore their own talents and their own innate abilities and the expression of that, because there's a certain expectation of what they're supposed to be. Now, I'm not saying that you have to totally ignore family duties or current relationships or things like that. But what this is implying is that don't ignore and allow space for expressing all that you are. And this is really where brilliance comes about. And I did this interview this morning with a brilliant musician in the area, actually at the Eastman School of Music, which is the #1 music school in the United States, and Juilliard and Eastman are always like head to head. It was a brilliant interview, because she talks about how as a musician she actually lost her hearing, and so how her life she thought was going to unfold took on a totally different appearance. And she has to be open to that. And she has to be open to bringing out everything that's trying to express itself through her. It's such a brilliant interview. It'll be coming out on my YouTube channel, Dr. P3, Powering Positive Potential. I've put in the logo stringer below a few posts down. So if you take a look at that, guys, let me know what you think about it. But it's really urging people to get out of that box, that cube, open up that box, get out of that box, and P3, Powering Positive Potential. So let me know what you think about that logo stinger. Okay, the expressing. So we should aim not so much at having or making some particular thing as at expressing all that we are. The expressing will grow out of realizing the treasures that are ours already and contemplating the beauty, the affirmative side of all that we are now, apart from the negative conceptions and detractions which veil this positive good from us. Okay, so expressing will grow out of realizing the treasures that are ours already. So what are the gifts and things that you have? Is it art? Is it music? Is it organizing? Some people are really good at administrative tasks and organizing. Is it cooking? Don't judge these things, but contemplate the beauty and how it's affirming the intelligence that's arising within you, okay? Of all that we are now, and where are you right now? And apart from the negative conceptions and detractions. So are there people or circumstances around you that are constantly putting you down, questioning everything that you do, saying that what you do is not good enough, blah, 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 like packing like garbage on top of this stuff? Okay, you don't have to listen to all of that. You can just look at them and just be like, put up like a little like glass, sheet in between you, and you just like observe them and say, wow, there's a whole lot of crazy coming out of your mouth, and I accept none of it. Because I know that this higher livingness is expressing itself through me. I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to allow it to come out. And your detractions and your negative bad-mouthing stuff is not going to keep me from harvesting the gold that's within me. Okay? So when we do this, we shall be astonished to see what possibilities reside in ourselves as we are. You have so many possibilities within yourself as you are. Okay? And the process of growth and the process of studying yourself and developing yourself is bringing out more of who you are. So, for example, if you have an engineering gift, don't force yourself to be a doctor. If you have a healing gift, don't force yourself to be, something else. Okay? It's being more of who you are. Okay? So, when we do this, we shall be astonished to see what possibilities reside in ourselves as we are and with our present surroundings, all unlovely as we may deem them. Okay. Reside in ourselves as we are and with our present surroundings, all unlovely as we may deem them. So, whatever perception you have of yourself right now and whatever perception you have of your surroundings, open your eyes to the possibilities that are right there. Oftentimes, the problems that are being presented to you are opportunities for you to get on a higher vibrational frequency and use that as inspiration to solve a problem. And remember, in the marketplace, the people who are making it in the marketplace are people who see a need and a problem and then use their innate gifts and abilities to create a solution for that problem, and you bring it to the marketplace. Why do you do that? This is where all of you just need to get over your stinking thinking when it comes to money. Money is a powerful tool. Just get over your negative, nasty attitudes towards it, because your ideas are worth something. And so when you create a solution to something, a solution to a problem, bring it to the marketplace and offer it, guys, because these ideas are coming to you, and there's an infinite field of thought. And guess what? If you don't respect that idea, it's going to go to someone else. The infinite field doesn't care. You know, each one of us are special, but we ain't nothing special in terms of being like the only channel that can channel an idea into human consciousness. Okay, so have you ever had an experience where you saw someone invent something, you say, oh, I had that idea a few years ago? Well, it doesn't matter that you had the idea. You didn't respect it enough to take action on it. Okay, respect your ideas enough to take action on it. Okay, and commencing to work at once upon whatever we find of affirmative in these, and withdrawing our thought from what we have hitherto seen of negative in them, the right road will open up before us. So this is basically, you know, stop condemning and criticizing yourself and things around you, because the things that you condemn and criticize actually pull themselves away from you. I mean, this is literally true with people, right? Who's going to hang around you if you're constantly condemning and criticizing them? Unless someone is a glutton for punishment and, you know, they like being verbally abused, and some people don't even recognize they're being verbally abused, right? I didn't for many years. So, okay, so stop condemning and criticizing these things and start to see the gold that's in them and the potential and opportunity that you have for growth from them. Okay, so, and withdrawing our thought from what we have hitherto seen of negative in them, the right road will open up before us, leading us in wonderful ways to the development of powers that we never suspected and the enjoyment of happiness that we never anticipated. That's basically saying get over your stinking negative thinking about all your current challenges, obstacles, and all this stuff, because there's actually an opportunity in them. So when you reframe your mind and you open your eyes to be able to see that more clearly, then a path of opportunity is going to be opened to you. Okay? And a lot of the times we can't do this on our own, which is why, you know, in Indian tradition, you know, we all connect with a guru, and a guru is literally someone, in some of the Sanskrit, you know, mantras, it's described, a guru is someone who places the ointment of awareness onto our eyes and opens up our eyes into greater possibility. And you know, in the modern world, coaches, we're doing that work. In a slightly different context, and a highly effective context, may I add, in terms of our marketplace and in terms of commerce, because ultimately our problem solving and our value gets translated into services and products in the marketplace, which we share, and we make other people's lives better, and we increase the value and we rise the tide for everyone. Okay, so that's what it's about. So tomorrow is the last a paragraph that I'm going to read. I'm going to do it separately than the webinar, guys, and I'll put the webinar links down below. And the webinar is about learn how to think and grow rich, and it's really about starting an epic academic year or fiscal year for yourself. We're getting into the biggest quarter. We're gearing up for the biggest quarter of the year, and just like get out of your stinking thinking. If you're complaining about money in your life, if you're complaining about that in your life, I mean, you've got stinking thinking. If you're complaining about anything in your life, you have stinking thinking. If you have a negative attitude in your life about yourself or anyone else, usually what you despise about something else is what you despise about yourself. So really think about your words, because your words do become real, and they're spells that you put out into your life. Okay, so you are magnificent, and think about that potential that's rising up and finding expression within you. Don't judge it, guys. Okay, don't judge it. I have so many books that I didn't write because I was like, oh, I have to write these, like, you know, this ego assuaging big fat books like this, when if I just written the damn like 15-page book, it would have like served a lot of people. But it's happening now, and it should happen for you too. I love all you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Oh, Robert, it's so great to see you here. Thanks. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for joining me. Bharat Kumar, Archana, Spose Mai, thank you. Lisa, Pranesh, Justin, Elizabeth, I will see you tomorrow. That's great. Yep. KP, Matt Morrison, thank you. Oh gosh, I love you guys so much. And keep moving forward, guys. And I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 11. Get your kids on the call. Bob's going to be on it. And then on Sunday, I made it a little bit earlier because I know a lot of people go to church, which is very important as well for community and whatnot. So I made it a little bit earlier on Sunday, a little bit later on Saturday. I hope that works for you. Feel free to share the link with everyone, really. People that you love, people that you hate, because they all need it. So, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.